Greetings, everyone. This is Terry Naturally with another edition of Terry Talks Nutrition. We're here every weekend, same time, same station. You can't lose us. If you're here now, you just got to come back to the same place. But if you have friends, family members, whatever, and they have never been with us, and you thought or think that they may find some benefit, and to realize that they are in charge of their health, not your doctor, no drug companies, no drugs. We're trying to get healthy. And health is always provided by the vitamins and minerals, the polyphenols, and all the natural components that are found in food. Food is our medicine, not drugs. And when we lack vitamins and minerals, or the healing power of polyphenols, that's like found in fruits, wine, olive oil, and many other, like chocolate. Now, don't go out and eat a lot of chocolate, but a small piece of chocolate can be very healthy, along with a little bit of wine and lots of olive oil. We can make ourselves healthy. And that's where health comes from. It doesn't come from drugs. Now, I'm not completely against drugs because I believe that drugs may save some lives, but they don't make us healthy. And if you want to prevent disease, prevent being sick, prevent being unhealthy, then you've got to start changing your diet to a healthy diet. It's so simple. You can't eat the American diet and expect to be healthy. It's the most unhealthiest diet in the world. And Americans are obese, overweight, unhealthy, disease-riddled, and they wonder, why? Who did this to me? You know who did this to you? You and I. I'm not leaving myself out either, because we can all be responsible for our health. So I always say this when I open up my program, because I don't think I can say it often enough, that you realize that you and I, are responsible for the health of our body. We can make ourselves healthy or unhealthy. It's not because God's mad at us, or we are unlucky, we are unfortunate, just because of the roll of the dice. No way, no way, no way. We are responsible for our health. You want to make it better? I give you all kinds of tips, all kinds of new concepts, alternative medicines that can make you healthy along with a healthy diet. And we always feature so many good topics. And today we're going to be talking about your adrenal glands. What are your adrenal glands doing? What part of the function of your body? Where are they in your body? What do they do? We'll talk about that and more. And you know what? Unfortunately, younger adults are aging faster. After a few generations, we're getting older faster. And older, faster, younger. And then we'll talk about the nutrient of the day, zinc. What does zinc do for us? And how can you tell that you're deficient in zinc? And what about sciatica? Let's take a closer look at what happens if you have sciatica. Inflammation in the brain puts your brakes on memory. You lose your memory, short-term, long-term, all because we have an inflamed brain. The cells are inflamed. And then here's a quick tip for heartburn relief. Even the bare minimum of healthy choices can extend your life. And you can extend your life in a healthy way. You don't want to extend your life if you feel terrible. I'm not saying that you want to take your life. I'm just saying that why do I want to live longer if I feel so bad? I can tell you that you can live 3, 4, 5 years longer if you do some of these healthy things. But most people say, oh my God, the way I feel right now, take me. I don't want to live this way. But you can live so well, so healthy, great mood, great happiness, great joy. You can feel fantastic. Get rid of those aches and pains. Change your diet, change your life. Are you tired all the time? That's one of the most common complaints. I am tired all the time. You know, the answer could be you need more B vitamins. B like in boy. B vitamins. Especially thiamine. That's vitamin B1. And for better blood sugar levels, why not curcumin? Curcumin does almost everything. There's been over 30,000 studies in the last several years on curcumin. It can treat 20 different conditions. So we have so much to be happy for. All these good things. And these are the things you can choose to do on your own. So let's start off and talk about the adrenal glands. Adrenal. Adrenal glands. Your adrenal glands produce hormones. And the hormones for energy, the immune system, mood swings. Are you happy or are you grumpy? Are you irritable or full of joy? The adrenal glands calls that every time. And making more muscular strength. And cortisol is one of the most important adrenal hormones. But if you have overworked adrenal glands, commonly called adrenal burnout, adrenal stress, and if you have adrenal burnout, too much stress, not the right diet, that can cause sensitivity to cold. You're cold all the time. And you don't like to be cold. You like it where it's warm. Low blood pressure. You know, sometimes the doctor will see you having a blood pressure of 110 or even 90 over 60. And they'll say, oh, that's great. It's great because they see such high blood pressure in many, many people. They think low is good. No, low is not good. Low is bad. You want it in the middle. 120 over 80. You don't want it low. When you have low blood pressure, you are tired, you're weak, you're dizzy, you don't feel good. If you're lying down and you get up fast and you have to stop a moment because you're dizzy or because you see stars, that means you have low blood pressure. That means you're weak, your adrenal glands are weak, called adrenal insufficiency. You have a weak heart, weak pulse, slow metabolism, constipation, frequent illnesses, fearfulness. It's just like your body is shutting down. And diet is critical to strengthen and boost the adrenal function. You want a good, strong, healthy adrenals. The stronger the adrenals, the stronger your body. Stronger against disease, viruses, bacteria. So you want to be on a diet that has low carbs. Lower your carbs. You don't need any carbohydrates. They're not essential. Protein is essential. High quality fats are essential. So you want low carbs, high protein, high quality fats. You want extra salt. Some people can actually put a spoonful of salt in a quart of water and drink that throughout the day. Because when you have very weak adrenals, you retain potassium, but you excrete all the sodium, the salt. Now, you don't want refined white salt. You want sea salt, like Celtic sea salt. So if you go to my website, terrytalksnutrition.com, you can click on my traditional diet, Terry's traditional diet, and that'll give you an inclination of what I would suggest for you for a healthy diet. You got to start off the day with protein, not with a cup of coffee and a piece of toast, or a Danish, or a muffin. I see people early in the morning going through the drive-thru at Starbucks or any coffee shop, and they're getting a big foamy drink, probably about 16 teaspoons of sugar, and a bran muffin, all carbohydrates, all sugar, because all the carbohydrates convert in the body to sugar. All the starch is converted into sugar. And sugar. The American diet is a diet of sugar, a diet of poison. Not overnight, but in time. You'll pay the price. So try to increase a healthy diet throughout the day, but start off with a really good protein diet in the morning. Scrambled eggs and bacon, or maybe a piece of steak left over from the night before. 3 or 4 eggs, maybe a small dish of berries. They are the best carbohydrates. So now, how do you restore the adrenal gland function? And the best way is with adrenal extract from a bovine source of adrenals. Adrenal extracts have been used to treat the adrenal glands and for other benefits since at least the 1930s. Adrenal gland extract, primarily bovine, cow, is a natural source of active hormones and other nutrients to stimulate the adrenal glands. Grass-fed animals from Argentina, are a preferred source of adrenal extract. And you can combine this adrenal extract with other nutrients such as licorice extract. It's a tea, licorice, but it's a powder. Rhamania is another herb. Both are very powerful in stimulating a healthier adrenal function. And with DHEA and pregnenolone, vitamin C, B6, otherwise known as P5P, and pantothenic acid, and L-tyrosine for chronic fatigue and adrenal burnout. When you have well-functioning adrenals, you are a happy camper. You feel great. Nothing gets you down. Nothing burns you out. You're happy all the time. People that have very weak adrenals complain about everything. They cry about everything. They're never happy. They're always complainers. They complain about everything. You can never find a way to make them happy. They're always sick. They always have bronchitis. They always have fatigue or sinusitis. They're always battling a virus or a bacterial infection. They're always sick. And it's the adrenal glands that keep us healthy. Stimulate the adrenal glands, and you will be a healthy, healthy person. A healthy camper. You'll be a happy camper. But you have to make the adrenals healthy. Start adding more protein to your diet. Start adding more natural fats. like olive oil, butter, red meat, fish, scallops, shrimp, all the good things that provide protein sources, and the fats. And no sugar. And lower your carbohydrates to below 50 grams of carbohydrates daily. If you're really sick, go down to 20 grams daily, or cut it out entirely. You don't need carbohydrates. Just another source of sugar. You don't need more sugar to be healthy. Now, as I said in the beginning of the program, it's very unfortunate that young adults are aging faster. Young on the outside, but they're aging on the inside. They're older internally. Some new data finds that recent generations are biologically older than previous generations who were at the same age. Researchers used 9 blood markers, biomarkers, to calculate a biological age, and then determined whether the person's body was aging faster or slower than their age in previous years. And they are getting older today than ever before. They did this for 2 groups. People born in the 1960s, when everybody was more slim and trim, versus the 1990s, when a lot of people were overweight, unhealthy, obese, and the results were clear. The younger people were biologically older than expected for their chronological age. Now, you might be 40, 50, 60. You have aged that far. But biologically, you could be 80, 90 because you're not taking care of yourself. You're eating junk food. You're eating ultra-processed foods. You're using seed oils instead of olive oil, butter, cream, lard, all the good things. And this might explain why rates of certain cancers, especially colon cancer and lung cancer, are increasing so rapidly in younger people. Colon cancer is found now in kids. Not because they lived longer like elderly. You find colon cancer more in elderly people because they lived a long time to abuse their colon. But now we're doing this faster. And even young kids are getting more cancer. So why does this happen? What accelerates aging? Exactly what you would expect. First of all, not enough sleep. We should be getting 9 to 10 hours of sleep, no less than 7 or 8. And there are many people that sleep 4, 5, 6 hours or toss and turn all night, not getting any sleep. They have a poor quality of sleep. And then they're eating diets that are high in sugar and ultra-processed foods. Now, they're not nourishing their body, and they're coming up to stress of all kinds. Relationship stress, divorces, unhappy people, financial stress, stress at the office or at your workplace, smoking, another stress, no exercise, another stress. And all of this causes oxidative stress and inflammation. We are damaging our cells faster than ever. Oxidative stress and inflammation destroys cells. or makes them weaker, or make them age faster. So as our cells age faster, we are aging faster. It always comes down to making better lifestyle choices. You can't get away from that. You choose whether or not you want to live healthy or unhealthy by the choices you make as to how you live. Lifestyle choices are the cause of 98% of all of our diseases. Not genetics, not because somebody's mad at you, not because of the roll of the dice, or you're unlucky. You are doing it daily. Choosing the wrong food. Choosing not to sleep well. Choosing not to get enough sleep. Choosing not to exercise. Sitting on the couch watching TV, eating chips. It doesn't make any sense. If that's what you choose, I can't change you, but I can ask you to change. You're going to have such a healthy, happy life. Now, you have to sacrifice some things. It's a simple method, but it takes some discipline. It takes some sacrificing. You got to get rid of all that junk food. People just eat it for pleasure. You should be eating for health. You should be living for health and not eating for health. That's your whole lifestyle. Make sure you choose the best choices possible. Some people eat for health and to live better. And some people just live to eat. Don't be that kind of person. You're paying the price. The pain, your joints wearing out faster. You're not feeling well. All these come down to an unhealthy lifestyle. Now, we're going to take a break here in a few minutes, so don't go anywhere. I'm not going anywhere. And maybe we can squeeze in one more topic before the break. Let's talk about zinc. Zinc is an antiviral mineral. What does that mean? It stops viruses. Up to 30% of the world's population is deficient in zinc. Because zinc is essential for the skin. One sign of skin deficiency, zinc deficiency, is red, cracked, dry skin. Zinc has very specific antiviral actions and helps control inflammation. It is required for the normal growth and function of the immune cells. Kids with colds that were treated with zinc and they experienced 83% reduction in duration of coughs and colds. 63% reduction in the duration of a runny nose. In patients hospitalized for COVID-19, 70% of those with zinc deficiency experience complications, viral infection up to 30% of patients, but 40% of patients that had plenty of zinc and normal levels of zinc could defeat the virus. And if they were deficient in zinc and they were put on a ventilator, most likely they would die. And zinc combines well with selenium for keeping the immune system strong. And here is the dosage I use that I recommend. At least 30 milligrams of zinc bisglycinate. That's a very special form of absorbable zinc. And 200 micrograms of selenium from yeast. Take once daily. So you're getting 30 milligrams of zinc and 200 micrograms of selenium. This is a great combination to strengthen your immune system and your body entirely. So we're going to break down here and take a pause for some commercials and time for the station to identify itself, and we'll come right back. So don't go away. I'm not going anywhere. So we have a lot to cover until the top of the hour. So stay with us. Be back right after this. And welcome back, my friends. We're back here with Terry Naturally. I am your host, Terry Naturally. And this is Terry Talks Nutrition. And you know, we spend an hour together. That's not nearly enough. Spend enough time with you to give you a lot of information to be healthy. But I'll take what I can get. But you can go to my website and you can listen to radio shows that we have archived there for your enjoyment. Shows you may have missed. Shows that you want to repeat for some reason. Shows that you may have had to walk out early. There's a lot of reasons why you may have missed a radio show. If you want to replay that, they're on my website. Go to the radio show section, and you can bring up radio shows, I don't know, as they say, till the cows come home. And you can also you can also read my newsletter. I send out a newsletter every Friday to your email address. If you have not subscribed yet, please do. We have over 300,000 readers and listeners on the Terry Talks Nutrition website. Lots of good information throughout the week. So you can join us way later after the hour is completed. So much more information coming your way. Now, what about sciatica? What is sciatica? It's a nerve pain. The sciatic nerve is the largest nerve in the body. And it extends from your lower back, across your butt, down the back of each thigh. The most common symptom of sciatica is pain that starts in the lower back and shoots down one leg or the other, sometimes all the way down to the foot. It can be very painful. And what causes sciatica? It's usually caused by compression on the spine, usually from a herniated disc, but diabetic neuropathy, sports injuries, car accident, a cancer tumor, or other factors that may lead to sciatic pain. Sometimes the cause cannot be identified. They don't know what caused it, but you will know if you have it. The pain is not fun to live with. So how do you stop sciatic pain? And sometimes it can last for 4 to 6 weeks at a time. And in some people, it becomes chronic. So it's there for every day. NSAIDs, 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 non-steroidal anti-inflammatories, like ibuprofen, help a little, if not at all, for sciatica. They stop inflammation, but don't relieve the nerve pain. Many practitioners don't recommend them. Now, here's a way to do it naturally. Try the natural option, a combination that I regularly recommend. a combination of alpha lipoic acid, the B vitamins, and as I mentioned, the alpha lipoic acid, otherwise known as ALA, has been shown to relieve sciatic pain and reduce need for conventional painkillers. It's regularly used in Germany to treat diabetic nerve pain. And then PEA, not green peas, but this is a natural molecule. And in controlled studies of patients with low back pain, nerve pain, sciatica, pain was extremely excruciating. But P was extremely effective at reducing pain. The primary dosage was 600 milligrams daily. But studies have also shown that you can double that and maybe triple or quadruple it. Some studies in Italy show that it's up to 2,400 milligrams daily. One of the best painkillers, all natural, no side effects, no adverse events, nothing that would not allow you to continue to use it long term. Very, very effective. What about your memory? Do you have a good memory? If I told you a story, and then I come back and ask you a lot of questions about the story, would you be able to answer all the questions and get them correct? Or would you already have forgotten the story? A great memory has a great ability to remember a lot of details. And usually information in the brain puts the brakes on memory, stops a well-functioning memory. Inflammation. Where does inflammation come from? Primarily from your diet. Sugar, refined carbohydrates, white flour, bread, rice, sugar, all the white foods. Puts the brakes on your memory. Time to bring it back. Inflammation stops brain cells from thriving. Inflammation has been shown to increase the risk of dementia and Alzheimer's disease by as much as 35%. Here's a new study. Scientists in England discovered that when brain cells from areas in the brain associated with learning and memory are exposed to inflammatory proteins, the process of new brain cell formation, called neurogenesis, comes to a complete stop. Sugar stops your brain from being healthy. No more new brain cells, along with carbohydrates, which adds to the load of sugar. And even worse, the brain cells then turn on new signals, triggering even more inflammatory activity, additional inflammation. This might explain why brain fog, memory problems, and mood changes occur so often with chronic inflammatory diseases, including AD, Alzheimer's disease. How do you stop the inflammation that's found in the brain? Polyphenols are very powerful plant compounds that stop inflammation and oxidative stress. The kind that you find in berries, wine, chocolate. These are polyphenols, but they're also found in curcumin. And there are two of the best is curcumin and a berry called aronia berry. Now let's take them one at a time. Curcumin has been proven to get into the brain, crossing the blood-brain barrier, and increasing neurogenesis and protecting the brain from inflammation. It reduces the risk of dementia, depression, and other illnesses of the brain. And here's the dosage I highly recommend. A very special form of curcumin. 750 milligrams of curcumin with phospholipids and turmeric essential oil, supplying 500 milligrams of curcuminoids, the active components of curcumin, at least one time daily, maybe 2 times. It depends on the individual, how severe the loss of memory is, or brain damage. Aronia, its active compounds found in a berry that crosses the blood-brain barrier, has been proven to reduce inflammation in the brain. There are plenty of polyphenols, anthocyanins, that are found in the berry that protects against dementia and chronic disease. From scientific studies, I am confident to recommend 300 milligrams of aronia berry extract, standardized to 40% total polyphenols, also with a very special form of gamma cyclodextrin to increase absorption of curcumin. Now this can be taken 1 to 3 times daily. 300 milligrams of aronia berries, standardized to 40% total polyphenols, combined with gamma cyclodextrin. Gamma cyclodextrin is a starch that is not absorbed by the body, but it's a transporter. It's a vehicle that carries the benefits of the aronia berry into the blood to circulate throughout the body, to make sure that it reduces the inflammation throughout the body, but more specifically in this case, the brain. It's very powerful. How about a quick tip for heartburn relief? Do you have heartburn? Are you gobbling up those antacids, which are not good for you? Well, you don't stop heartburn by stopping stomach acid. Do you know what happens when you take away stomach acid? We need stomach acid, hydrochloric acid in our stomach. If you don't have enough hydrochloric acid, food is not digested properly, especially protein. It interferes with the absorption of calcium, vitamin B12, and iron. One study documented over 40% reduction in calcium absorption when taking Prilosec. You see Prilosec being advertised on TV almost every day. It's the 1 pill a day. Undigested protein in the intestines can act as allergens. If they're not digested and the body can't use them, then they're foreign to the body. So undigested protein is foreign to the body. You may have allergies only because what you take into the body, either through orally or breathing, and they're not consistent with the body function. They're foreign to the body. The body sets up an allergic reaction to what you have taken in. So what does this mean for you? Taking an acid blocker or acid-reducing medication can cause more problems than it cures. Use something natural. For last, natural relief for heartburn and GERD. Restore stomach acidity with betaine hydrochloride. Betaine hydrochloride, HCl. Reduce symptoms with D-limonene and C. buckthorn. 600 milligrams once or twice daily. This is a combination of the oil from lemon or orange, the peel, called D-limonene, and the oil from C. buckthorn berries. The D-limonene both protects the stomach lining without interfering with the acid production, and also helps peristalsis, the contraction of the intestines to keep food moving through the entire digestive system. And C. buckthorn is a source of beneficial fatty acids, especially omega-7, shown to protect and heal stomach ulcers, as well as reduce inflammation in the intestinal mucosa. The intestinal mucosa is the lining of the stomach, lining of the intestines. It's a mucous membrane. It's wet. If you put your finger in your mouth along the outside of the cheeks, but internally, they're wet. And that's your mucous membrane. That's found in the cavities of the body and the intestinal tract. And then reset your digestive system. I recommend a blend of 14 Ayurvedic herbs, including ginger, antigraphis, corticola, around 800 milligrams twice before bedtime with water. It soothes your intestinal tract, soothes your digestive system, soothes the mucous membranes, and eliminates constipation. Very effective for the health of your colon and your intestinal tract. Now, even the bare minimum of you making better choices may extend your life. You can live longer by being healthier. And you have every choice and every decision to choose a better lifestyle than you are now. If you're eating a lot of ultra-processed foods, a lot of preserved meats and delis, you're not making yourself healthy, and even more unhealthy, because these foods are all void of vitamins and minerals, polyphenols, and the natural compounds that make us healthy. So we can extend our life. It's amazing that we have that power, that ability. But it takes knowledge. And I hope you gain some of that knowledge here. But then you also have to implement how the knowledge can affect your life to make your body healthier, to reduce aging cells, cells that have been damaged, cells that are highly inflamed. How can we make ourselves more healthy? By just small changes can have very big results. Using the records of sleep patterns, physical activity, and nutrition collected over 60,000 people, researchers developed a model to predict how long people would live based on their lifestyle choices. They found that even small positive changes could have huge, big results. Now, for the minimum, people who added 5 minutes of sleep, just adding 5 minutes of sleep, 2 minutes of at least moderate daily activity, and a small diet change, such as half serving of vegetables daily, can extend the life by 1 year. Now just think about that. You're only adding 5 minutes of sleep more than you would have slept before. And 2 minutes of at least moderate daily activity. And a small diet change of adding a half serving of vegetables daily extended the lifespan by 1 year, and in good health. Not that you're expanding your lifespan by 1 year when you feel terrible, when you have so much pain. Maybe you have sciatica, maybe you have joint pain, maybe you have type 2 diabetes, heart disease, but in a good, healthy lifestyle. Now, the optimum actually donating more time, getting 7 to 8 hours of sleep. 7 to 8 hours of sleep. 43 minutes of moderate activity and a high-quality diet was linked to more than 9 years of additional health span and lifespan. You're adding 9 more years to your life. Wouldn't you enjoy 9 more years with your kids? 9 more years with your grandkids? 9 years with your spouse, traveling all over the world, doing things together, enjoying family, Sunday dinners. There's so much to enjoy. But we are killing ourselves and shortening our lives and causing more pain. And we can turn that around in just a very, very short period of time. You can restore your life. You can regenerate your cells, whether that be physically or mentally. You can bring yourself back to a healthy state. 9 years of additional lifespan and health span. 9 years. What would you do with 9 more years when you're in good, healthy condition? Not decrepit, not full of pain, full of inflammation, feeling terrible, moody, grouchy, crabby, all of the above. Wouldn't you want to feel really, really good? And do some of the things that you thought was never possible? Maybe you had to wait until you got healthy again to do some of the things you want to do. But that should be your goal. That within 1 year, you and your spouse are going to go traveling. In 1 year, you're going to have a new baby. Do the things you want to do. but in a healthy stage. And you have more time, enjoying 9 more years with your spouse, enjoying 9 more years with your grandkids, your kids, whatever. We're dying too early, unfortunately. So with that, my friends, I can't believe how this fast this hour goes by, but please take some of this advice and try to use it to design a better quality of life, better lifestyle choices that will assure you a better quality of life. So that, my friends, say a prayer for this crazy, crazy world. We are in dire need for a better quality of America. So God bless you. I pray for you every day. And God bless America, this great, great nation, this great country, the best country in the world. Don't take it for granted. As we become healthier, we have to make our country healthy as well.
Thank you for listening to Terry Talks Nutrition Weekly Show. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a review on your favorite podcast platform, including Apple, Google, and iHeartRadio.